A teen gang member charged with murder now facing deportation. Immigration officials saying 19-year-old Pedro Espinoza is in this country illegally, and it's possible he may have been living here illegally for more than 10 years.
Yeah, and get this, Espinoza is actually accused of gunning down 17-year-old Amiel Shaw Jr. Shaw, a high school star athlete, was killed earlier this month just blocks from his Los Angeles home. This is a killing that stunned his local community and much of the country.
This was our star, you know, this is what we lived for. This was our 18-year plan, and we were caught short of 10 months from him reaching his peak and his potential of going to college and doing something with his life, you know. And I think it's wrong for the community to let these people walk around and kill your kids. If you don't want your kids killed or anyone else's kids killed, tell on these guys. They don't deserve to walk the streets and enjoy food and enjoy entertainment because my son is dead for no reason.
And that was the boy's father talking with Shepard Smith on Studio B earlier this month. And our legal panel is back now to weigh in on this one. Former prosecutor David Schwartz and defense attorney Joanna Greenwald. You know, first of all, this story was heart-wrenching at first. Anytime we hear of any life cut short, a young life like this with such a future. Your reaction to an illegal immigrant shouldn't have been in this country. Who's responsible, allegedly?
Well, you know, I think at this point we have to deal with what's in front of us. And in this case now you have a gang-related incident. Not only a gang, I think it's also a hate crime that occurred, and they have to treat it as such, and he should be going to jail now. There's nothing I think that you could really do.
Gang violence is a hate crime.
Well, but he's actually charged for capital murder, which is gang violence because it's a gang-related issue.
Right.
Has not yet been charged yet as far as a hate crime because it's both you're dealing with an African-American young boy who had nothing. You know, he had no relation to the situation, and it was a gang incident, so.
There was an ICE immigration hold on him at one point in time, but only after this crime. Why not before this crime when he was in custody?
Well, the mechanism is not set up in this country to put a hold on every single legal immigrant who gets into trouble for any reason whatsoever. He was in jail for 4 months, Greg, on a gun case and also on other related charges. The bottom line is it would overload the system to the point. I mean, I don't see the significance in the fact that he is an illegal immigrant. There are millions of illegal immigrants in this country.
It's a big deal. The fact that he's here illegally. The fact that he's here illegally. You have someone who's here who's in jail once. The day after he got out, he shot this wonderful kid who had a big future and killed him.
Yeah,
I think it's a big deal.
It's being a Monday morning quarterback, Joanne. It's being a Monday morning quarterback.
I don't think so.
Because there's millions of other illegal immigrants who are hardworking people who are here, who are trying to live the American dream.
If you're accused of a crime and police find out that you're here illegally, you're not allowed to be let go. You have to be handed over to ICE.
It depends on the situation. It depends on the situation.
Well, here's the problem is I would not even want him deported right now because there's a big reason. Mexico doesn't have the death penalty. Right. He's up for the death penalty. I want him up for that.
He's not being deported now. He's going to face murder charges on this case. No one's going to deport him now.
But he been deported before.
Well, I know that's the argument here. And what I'm saying is, number one, there was no immigration hold originally.
What was the question? Where are you from? He says, I don't know.
But
good enough.
That
was good enough.
Wait a second.
You could stay. Good answer.
It's easy to pick on the local authorities, but if there's no immigration hold, what are you going to do? Just assume that there's an immigration hold? No, that's not the way it works.
Wait a minute, who are your relatives? I don't know. Good enough.
Okay,
you could go out.
But then clearly there's a problem with the law. And I mean, come on, after immigration law problems, after immigration laws.
This country was built on immigrants, and the vast majority, even the illegal
You
ones.
don't think this system is broken?
All of us are, but yeah.
No, I don't think it's broken. I think we have to get a handle on it. But just because somebody gets arrested for a crime doesn't mean they should automatically get deported.
Well, I don't agree with you. You have crimes of moral turpitude. He was arrested for resisting arrest and a weapon. Weapons charge right there. You have a potential moral turpitude issue. And then you know what? The investigation stopped. They should have gone forward. They didn't. And if they'd gone forward, he would have been out.
First of all, he's breaking the law. He's breaking the law, number one, for being in this country illegally. Right. Having these priors on top of it, you would think at some point local authorities would have done something.
It's easy to be a Monday morning quarterback, but in the vast majority, no, because that's what
this was easily foreseeable.
Obviously, looking back on it, yeah, we should have gotten rid of this guy. We should have deported him. But how were those local authorities supposed to know that at the time?
You check, you see he's in a gang, and you say, wait a second, he's in a gang? That's a good one. I should investigate that one. Wait a minute. You're in a gang? You're in jail. You get right out. Oh, you shouldn't look at anything right there. And the fact that they processed him, no one checked.
You can't prove
checked.
citizenship. I mean, my goodness, they knew where he lived. Go to his house, serve a subpoena, a search warrant, look for papers to prove that he's a citizen.
But just because you get
arrested on a minor crime
doesn't mean you should automatically get deported. That's my point here. And there was
not my reading of the law.
No
you commit
mechanism.
a crime, you do the time, and then you get deported if you're not a U.S. citizen.
Not every
That's
crime.
the law.
Not every crime. No.
Every crime.
Not every crime.
All right, Joanna Greenwald, thank you, and David Schwartz, thank you. See, now we flipped it this time. It was 3 on David instead of 3 on you, Joanna.
Thank you. Finally.
We ganged up on her last hour. All right, now for a heartwarming reunion in San Diego.